Yeah, what can we keep that's that's going to bloom in the fall, right? Well, guess what? Of course,
He's the man.
Jennings, our lifestyle expert, is here to
Life on Mars, right?
Oh, the power of three.
Welcome. Yes, all right, indeed. So you've got a lot of stuff here that is not only that stays alive and well through the fall, but actually flourishes in fall, right?
The idea is when I wrote my first book, Life on Mars, A Four-Season Garden, I wanted to take the approach of that every season should be beautiful and there should be something interesting in the garden. And so that's exactly what I brought in today, are different examples, everything from flowers to vegetation that capture the essence of the season with color and texture, as well as making it beautiful and something interesting.
I guess the key is to keep the colors going through
Definitely.
early, hot, and then toward the fall time. How do you do that, though? I mean, do you really sketch something out and then map it out kind of on paper? Or?
That's a great question, Gil. And the best way to do it is to really walk through the garden and assess the garden yourself.
Okay.
And the best time to do that is in the dead of winter, believe
Really?
it or not, because that's where you can see all your holes. And from there, you build. And of course, spring is a very important time for planting and getting in the garden. People get excited.
Yeah.
But fall should be just as aggressive because it's a wonderful time not just to plant great flowers and vegetation, but seeding grass and planting grass. You know, it germinates. That's a good time to take care of that. Maintenance, trimming evergreens and trimming your trees, another great time to do that as well.
Nice.
So let's get busy and talk about some beautiful things that can grow right now and that are flowering. Here's the autumn star clematis. And what I love about these 1-inch flowers is that it's very prolific and it will cascade over a fence, it will grow up a trellis.
So you have to train it a little bit? Or?
It is not an aggressive vine. It does need a little bit of help, but once you establish the direction you want it to go, it will totally take over. And it likes to be trimmed as well. And it's one of those big impacts in the fall. Now, I have this in my garden and I loved it so much. I was just going to bring a big clipping, but I said, you know what? Let me just buy another one and plant it in the
why
garden.
not?
It's that beautiful and it's easy to take care of.
Does it attach or just wrap itself around something?
It very gently grabs whatever kind of trellis you might give it and just kind of climbs. And then once it climbs over, it will cascade down beautifully.
Nice.
Okay?
Heavy watering, or this is kind of tolerable?
This is a good time to plant anything because, as you know, we get a lot of rain in the fall and the dew helps. So you want to establish it during the growing season and plant it, put it on a schedule, and then move on.
Nice.
Okay? Another great thing is the autumn fern. And I love a very decorative fern. Now, this autumn fern, I had many of these in my garden. And what's so lovely about them is that they get very, very large. And it's a wonderful texture that's low to the ground.
Right.
So when you start thinking about something growing up, you start thinking about things below as well, creating tiers. And I talk about that in my book. And let's not forget about beautiful grasses.
Oh, there are
as well.
so many different
ones.
ones.
They're
awesome.
many to
Get
choose
some
from.
now that are,
Very whimsical. You have a lot of movement in the garden. And this is the moor grass, and it's very decorative as well. And when you have a grass in the garden, not only are you creating a wonderful, whimsical look in the garden, but the birds love it as well because you can chop it down right before the winter season, and then in the spring it will grow back. But the birds love this. They will come to it and they will pull it to make nests, etc.
We've only got about a minute,
so let's
not
wrap
to rush
up.
you, but yeah,
okay,
We can go 30 though. I love it.
Well, here are two things that you must know about.
Okay.
This is the PG hydrangea, another variation of a hydrangea.
Interesting.
Big, beautiful flowers. Okay, we'll put that in there for right now.
Right.
And tardiva, excuse me. And this is the PG hydrangea. Very big flowers. They bloom right now through the season, and they last a long period of time. Cut every flower off at the end of the season, bring them inside. Another thing is that people are very, very used to buying mums, but what they don't realize is that it is a perennial. So go ahead and plant it in the ground, leave it, enjoy it in the spring, chop it all the way down,
right
and then
down.
it will come back every year.
Nice.
It looks dead in the spring, but just chop it down.
And the sedum, by the way, in my front bed is actually doing really well right now.
Sedum is
Super
a wonderful, it's a very rubbery type of plant. It is very easy to take care of. You can trim it and actually cut the flowers. It doesn't even need water when you bring it in the house. So another great choice. But you could go to my website, marjennings.com.
Tell us about this though, right here.
And of course,
for those familiar with your first book,
Life on Mars continues. Now I'm introducing my second interior book that really speaks about the 6 core principles. It's decoding all design dilemmas.
And you
It's
can
the
get it
cure.
now?
You can buy it right now, pre-orders on Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble. It's $19.95. It's actually less right now because it's in pre-orders, and it really is the cure for all design dilemmas. And I walk you through my Westport, Connecticut home and show you how Mother
beautiful.
Nature colors and textures
Mom,
are
get
applied.
on the internet. Order that thing up.
Call
Life
now.
on Mars. Mar Jennings, lifestyle expert. So
Always
much
a
appreciated.
pleasure.
Always great
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much.